no hat on. Welcome back, ladies and gents. How's it going? Wub wubs have gone. Wub 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 wub. Oh, the more ideas being tossed around every single time. So, let's have a quick look at Dungeons and Raids. They want us to have a reason to go back to Dungeons and Raids. Interview the next day. We don't know how we're going to do it, but they're thinking about doing it. What a flip-flop. What a flip-flop to 5-mans. Yeah, you guys chew through them too quickly, so we're not really going to make any more. There is a lot of flip-flop in this expansion, isn't there? There is a lot of flip-flopping. Did it need to happen? How many of you here right now? We've got plenty of you. We've got like 3,500 people here. How many of you were not playing WoD and are now coming back?
Me.
One. Straight away. Or at least, let me put it this way, or at least going to try it. Or at least going to try it. Which I think is the more, you know, the more accurate way. Which ones are you, based on the information you have so far, are at least going to try it? Me. Wow. Brunen. Oh, some old school names here. Amazing. Look at all the old school guys here. Wow. So many of you who left for what? Left in WoD. Nah, Nasa got owned. Me. Wow. Maybe. Still undecided. Sinsu holding sharp. Holding sharp. Just the tip from Hunter Angel. Just the tip. Just dipping the wick in. Shame on the other sub. Shames. I don't blame anyone. Still in WoD. Me. Wow, that is incredible. That is incredible amount of people. They made some big fucking changes, didn't they? Did they have to? Yes. We saw the subs drop to 5.6 million, the lowest they've been since vanilla. And then they came out of the bag with this. When did they stop work on WoD? Ages ago.
Yes.
Absolutely fucking ages ago they stopped on that. So we're going to get some raids. The thing that got me straight away on this was that Gul'dan was back. And there was going to be a Gul'dan raid. And I got really sad because even I give a shit about the raid every now and again. And we have had Orc raids in so many of them.
Can I just see a picture as you're talking? Sorry, carry on.
I was looking for a picture, but go ahead. I'll show you the cutscene later.
Thanks,
Deal?
Mate. Yeah.
Deal. Is that there was going to be a Gul'dan raid, Mother of Christ. And then they showed us one of the, what could possibly, and it reminds me very much of the Diablo 3 final act.
Oh.
This is what awaits us. This is one of the 5-mans, by the way. Based on Valhalla is the look they're going for.
Okay.
Yeah, based on Valhalla is the look they're going for. And it looks fucking beautiful. And they're going with the Gul'dan raid is apparently in an old elven city. If I can find the image, which I'm trying to look for. It was a piece of concept art, so I might not be able to see it here. They're going for beauty. They're going for beauty this time, and I am more than on board with that. Because, fuck me, it needed it, right? It's been so butt ugly for so long. I mean, Hellfire Citadel's a great raid, but shit, it's ugly. It's ugly, and it's dark, and it's fucking terrible, and it's boring. I just want to give an idea of what the glaives might look like. Just spotted this. I think that looks shit.
Yes, I do.
I think that looks real shit.
I don't like them without them being curved, you know? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that looks real shitty to me. That's disappointed me. I think we've just lost some potential comebacks.
I don't.
No?
You know one thing though, mate? You're not going to have to fucking farm Cursed Vision.
Already got it, mate. Already got it, mate. Yeah, so we're going into the Emerald Nightmare as well. Not seen them since Vanilla. I mean, all that means to me is green dragons. I don't know. It probably means a hell of a lot more to other people. But to me, that just means dragons. We haven't had dragons in a while. We've had a World of Warcraft. When was the last dragon we had?
Cataclysm.
We had Deathwing. Did we have any dragons in Mists of Pandaria? Sulong?
Nomi was in Mop.
As what?
It was part of the Cape quest, I think she was, wasn't she?
I can't remember.
I can't remember. No, it was the Timeless Isle. She sent it to the Timeless Isle, but that was literally it.
Elagon? Yeah, like a spectral dragon. But not a proper dragon. Right? Not a real dragon. Not a Valstraz or a Nefarian or an Onyxia. You know, a proper man's dragon.
A man's dragon.
A man's dragon. Galacras, fuck off. Come on. We haven't had a man's dragon for a long... I wouldn't even include Deathwing in that, as we didn't actually fight him as a dragon. We haven't had a dragon. Shit. For years now, right? Fucking years now. So, Hulon, I mean, I think we're fair to say not really then, right? Cry more, die more. Manaroth. No. Smaug. Schmaug. Ultraxion. Again, no, we didn't really fight him. It was on that platform. Not a dragon, right?
You've blurred the line for me now.
Well, we just fought a dragon, as in a dragon that we were tanking, like a Nixian Nefarian. A dragon. We're fighting a dragon.
Oh, like a Nixian.
Ultraxion floated above, and you stood on a platform, and you fucking collected your little orbs.
Nixian, I think for me, like Nixian is one of my favourite dragon fights. Just the looks of it and the feel of it. A fucking big dragon, like asleep in its like cave.
Yeah, Halion would be a good example. Syndragosa was a proper dragon. Sinestro wasn't a proper dragon either, because she just stayed in the fucking fire pit. That could have been anything. It could have been. It might as well have been Colligan for all I gave a shit about Sinestro. Fucking dickhead she is. I want to see some dragons again. This is fucking World of Warcraft, baby. I want to see some big ass fucking dragons. So we're getting a couple of raids. They're going to stick with the WOD formula. Fantastic. The WOD raiding formula was awesome, in my opinion. Just a couple of instances that are fucking very cool. Yeah, like so, like Heimball was like 7 bosses, and then we had Foundry, which is a few more bosses. But very, very, the raiding in WOD was fantastic. It's the only reason most people are still playing, I think, is the raiders, because the raids were fucking fantastic. So, raids stay harder than they've ever been. True, raids were great in Warlord, so the team starts about much better loot. Let me find out what the raids are. I know they're written here. So bear with my life. So the dungeons are going to get the Halls of Valor, located high up above the clouds of Stornhelm, inspired by Valhalla. That's the picture you just saw there. Blackrock Hole, located in Valshara, the ancestral home of Lord Kurtalos Ravencrest. Ravenclaw? Confirmed? It's an elven structure. Very nice. You start in the catacombs below Blackrock Hole and work your way through to the outside to the top of the spire. We get the Vault of Wardens. This is where demon hunters awaken, so they'll attack on the prison. And...
oh, you motherfucker! That got me on the meat.
I needed you to get your blood high because the return of Violet Hold. Discuss. Do you remember Violet Hold? Wrath of the Lich King. 5-man inside Dalaran itself. The prison. Discuss your excitement.
You talk to me. Look at your face. You've got some things you want to say.
I loved Violet Hold. It was a pleasure
It was.
and a joy every single time that daily popped up, and it was Violet Hold. And I would just think to myself, what a beautiful day. Right? Absolutely. no, there's no face. But it seems like they're going to do something magical with it. I'm not buying the idea behind it, is that the closer you move Dalaran to Sargras's tomb, stuff happens in the Violet Hold. That's the excuse for bringing it back.
Say that again.
They're moving Dalaran to the new zone, the Broken Isles. The closer Dalaran gets to the tomb of Sargeras, Sargeras?
I think it's Sargeras.
Sergi.
Serg.
The closer we get to
Serge.
to Serge, the closer we get to Serge, it awakens the things that we didn't know about in Violent Hold.
Violent Hold.
Violet, because of Dalaran. Purple. Violet Hold. So, Sergey? Yeah. So...
I don't like that idea.
It's a bit of a stretch.
It's
a bit of a stretch.
The thing is, these things are already in Violet Hold anyway, so it's not what's going to awaken them now.
What secrets can be in there?
You know what should happen?
What's that?
Is the things that are contained in Violet Hold become more corrupted and influenced the closer it gets. Not the things that are just like they're having a nap and then like their alarm clock goes off, beep, 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 and they check their iPhone and it says we're pretty near Sergei's tomb now. You know what I mean?
This is what it says word for word. You ready?
Hit me.
Violet Hold had some deep secrets that we didn't discover the first time around, but these are now awakened by proximity to the tomb of Serge. We learn about the origins of Dalaran, the mages of Dalaran, and the origins of the world itself.
It's a pretty tall order, man.
It's
Considering
going to
a
be
prison.
so different.
Yeah.
That it will barely resemble Vital Hold. And I think it's literally an excuse to have a dungeon within Dalaran because there's a dungeon portal there already. And they're just moving Dalaran over. That would make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're going to have it not work. Or redesign the architecture for Dalaran already exists. And this is the only reason Vital Hold's coming back, by the way. It makes total sense. Like, well, we're going to have Dalaran as a city. But there's an instance there. And we've got the architecture that backs that up. New dungeon. Why? Because we moved it.
Let me tell you why.
'Cause
There's
we
a
moved it.
reason. Yeah. Doesn't work. But there's a reason.
What's the reason we're going in there? Because we moved it. Innit?
So all these
Because we
things,
moved it.
all these things that are contained in the Violet Hold are now awakening the closer they get to Serge, his tomb. Why are we actually going in there though? They're still contained.
To learn about the origins of the world.
Can I not do that through a book?
No.
Why do I have to go in this prison that's
Sure.
closer we get is getting increasingly dangerous when it's probably noted, documented and lamented facts?
It's going to be totally
In a
different.
book.
I imagine we're going to go into the original Vital Hold room and there's a door, which wasn't there before. Like the magic door that's open now. Woo. And then the room of requirement will open and we'll go deeper inside. But whatever. It sounds better. Let's be honest. It sounds way better than the original. If it was the same, it's like there's new... If that read, there's new prisons open. New prisoners have escaped in Vital Hold. You've got to go and sort it out. I would have cried my eyes out. But it sounds like it's going to be way different. So the two raids we're going to get. The Emerald Nightmare. There's a raid with 7 bosses. Players have always wanted to see the Emerald Dream. Okay. It was created by the Titans as a blueprint for Azeroth itself. A perfect vision of our world. Something went wrong though. Bummerino. And the world has descended into corruption and nightmare that threatens to spread into our world and engulf it. In the dungeon, we enter the roots of the tree. World tree? Yeah. But in the raid, we climb into the tree and cross through the barrier that separates our reality from the reality of the dream. We will go in, root out corruption.
We're in a tree. Oh, that play on words.
Oh!
Beautiful. Beautiful.
We will root out corruption, climb the branches of success.
Did you say that?
No.
Well done though, mate. Yeah.
Seek out Cenarius and confront Xavius himself at the heart of the nightmare.
The heart of the nightmare.
The heart of the nightmare. Apparently the Lore Fellows are extremely happy about that.
I think we
for
should
one,
just leave him alone.
Just hear dragon. But I believe Cenarius is one of those cloven-hoofed fellows.
Demigod, isn't he, Cenarius?
Sure, if you want.
Am I thinking of Cenarius?
Oh, Xavius. Is he not a cloven-hoofed fellow?
He probably is.
Yeah? With the furry legs.
Who
And
am I thinking
horns.
of? Who's the fucking druid demigod? He's a card in Hearthstone. Who dares defile these ancient lands?
Xavius has been mentioned since vanilla. I know. I've seen the name many a time. A satire.
That's it.
Yeah. Satire. Sure. Big ass. Yeah, okay, cool. But there better be a green dragon in there, let's be honest. I hope it's Lethon, because everybody loves Lethon. Suramar Palace is the other raid that we're going to get, so it's going to be like High Mall and, of course, Blackrock Foundry. So Suramar Palace will be the Blackrock Foundry version, and this is the Palace of Suramar.
Just one sec. Now Wales, it gives you 2-2, not 1-1.
Not bad!
Carry on, sorry.
Sick burn, bro.
Yeah.
Half stoned.
And I said that Cenarius was a demigod.
Yeah. Half stoned.
Half stoned, mate. Play your cards right in future, son.
Okay, this is the palace in Suramar from which the Grand Magistrix runs the city. He has brokered a deal with the Legion to allow them to use and corrupt the pillars of creation to create the Nightwell, a conduit of dark energy. Ooh.
Ducks.
The layout and structure is somewhat reminiscent of the Black Temple. Yes! Black Temple forever. A maze. You start an underground catacomb. As you are able to enter the front gate, you work your way up to the outdoor balconies, the royal quarters, and then to the Nightwell itself, where you'll find the Grand Magistrix and Gul'dan. Gul'dan is here as an ambassador to the Legion. He cannot run away this time. This is...
That's geese, you knobheads. It were fucking ducks.
We're getting called out on everything tonight. This is not another green spike-filled orc area, but a royal elven city. Thank God. And hopefully it's based off Sunwell architecture. Or Blood Elf architecture, I should say. Is there anything more pretty in this game than Silver Moon City? I totally agree. Silver Moon City is fucking tremendous.
Silver Moon City.
It is. It's awesome. Silver Moon City, I've been talking constantly all week, is the best thing ever, so I am more than impressed with
Take me down to the Silver Moon City, where the grass is green and the architecture's pretty.
We can't moan about elves. We've had orcs forever. You can't then go, oh God, elves. No, I don't want a troll one.
Elves time! It's the elves time!
I'm done with trolls. I don't want Tauren. Fucking totem poles and shit.
Fucking totem pole fleshlights, mate.
Yeah, I don't want anything like that. A dwarf would be nice, though. I would love a dwarven city.
Like Ironforge, mate.
Yeah, a raid on an Ironforge style city, and thinking about placing Lord of the Rings where Gimli goes.
Terrific banter.
Terrific, terrific. I would adore that as well. So hopefully, I would love a dwarf one. I don't want another troll one. Yeah, and a gnome one. Nobody likes an American.
Yeah, that's just an American though. Take all the whole like leper out of an American, make it about tech. I think it'd be good. Why don't you suck a dick? Stop trying to suck the joy out of everything, yeah?
I'm not.
Take that suckage and put it on the end of a dick. You loser.
And
Get
slurp.
out. Yeah.
Slurp. Slurp is our word of the week. Ulduar is basically dwarf. Yeah, I liked Ulduar as well. I'm happy to.
I liked Ulduar.
Yeah, I'm happy to have that again. That would be cool. Let's talk about the honor system then. We have plenty of PvPs here, despite being a PvE focused channel. Finally, we said last week, a PvE talent system, a PvP talent system, their own talent system, and a prestige system.
Really?
You did not read?
A COD?
You were not aware.
A COD-esque?
They even said on stage, basically like Call of Duty. They are part of Activision now. They were happy to make that. They didn't even try and skimp it. So, the way the system will work is you're going to get a PvP talent tree, which unlocks very, very quickly, which is cool, to get all the talents. And what you can do is you can reset your honor at any point you want, and you'll get big visual updates and rewards for doing that. Purely cosmetic. No power gains. So what they're doing is essentially making all gear the same. So they showed this screenshot, which was very accurate, I thought, with the power difference between two characters that are both level 100, and one was, I think they said it was something like 45% more powerful because of his gear level, between 620 and 700. And you can see basic things like, 15% extra crit, twice the haste, so on and so forth, and the same amount of spirit, which was balanced. But they basically said that the powered PvPers, or at least good PvPers, don't want huge power increases based on gear. 80%, so there you go, 80% more powerful. They don't want that. So we're going to change it. So they're going to do this, where you earn things like portrait badges for prestige. So that's it. It's just a cosmetic portrait badge that you'll get. And different mounts. So like
that's a lovely mount.
That's awesome, isn't it? Entirely cosmetic.
See, now, I thought if it was going complete Activision, where it was just you get a fucking different badge every time you prestige. No. Fuck off. I hate that. People love it, and I'm, fair play to you if you love it, but fuck off. I'm not losing all my shit just to change my badge, but if it gives you stuff outside of that badge, I'm all for it.
All cosmetic.
Yeah.
Entirely cosmetic.
Amazing.
Yeah. And people are complaining about it. Like, it's not fair. But what they're saying is, if you love to do BGs, this is the reason you can keep going in.
Exactly.
Because people are doing BGs with capped honor, don't need anything, can't buy anything, but they love to do BGs, so they're just going in and doing it for fun. So now they're going to say, well, cool, we'll give you something for that. You can reset your honor, you can go and get more cosmetic stuff, and then that will unlock I believe these are all the PvP variants of the artifact weapons, so you'll get the Dark Ashbringer, the Weird Doombringer.
I only like the two on the right.
The Frostmourne, not Frostmourne.
Frostmourne, not Frostmourne, mate.
Frostmourne, not Frostmourne, and so on. You'll get the more sinister-looking PvP stuff, but it's all cosmetic. Every single thing. Yeah, I brought them up now, the artifact rewards. So, I can't see who the fuck is complaining about that?
Arseholes.
You've just got to be a bit of a fucking boring cunt, really, aren't you, really? I can't, unless I'm missing something. Unless I'm missing something. What am I missing here? PvP gear will all be the same power, so you don't need to worry about that. And you get loads of cosmetic stuff. What's the problem with it?
Don't know, mate.
I would like to see an argument with it.
Look at that. Tank spec fucking demon. Look at him. Oh, you bastard. Which one was it? This one here. That's Havoc. Oh, fucking hell. Come on.
Well, but I would say, the only reason you would complain about this... It's the PvE... I don't think so. I don't think the PvEs give a shit what the PvPs are doing, honestly. I can speak from source me. And I was just saying, I'm in a PvE guild. No one gives a fuck what the PvPs are doing. And it can only be if you want to crush people. If you're farming gear so you can go in and crush new players, that cannot be the only reason, right? Is there any other reason? Okay, so let's have a look at what you did say about PvP. So, those are the main hit topics. Thumbs up for everything. The only iffy part for me was the inclusion of these precious weapons for me. So far.
Okay.
So far. So let's move on to the more recent stuff. So some of you might be aware of this. Some of you might not be aware of this. This is the more fine points that they put on a number of things, including Celestalon's tweets and so on and so forth, because they kind of got to work sort of answering more and more questions. About the more specific things. So, the team is happy with how flying worked out in Draenor. Liars. And I think we're safe to call that out now. Is
it actually in-game now?
No. But they have decided on the system now, which I think is fair. So, you will have to level up and explore the land before you're able to fly, similar to what is coming in 6.21. So, they're happy. I think the better way of saying this was they're happy that they found a system that they agree on. I think that would have been a more correct way of saying it. But that also does mean that flying is going to be in the expansions, which is fine. I have no problem with that. But they don't seem to be intending to build zones around it. They are going to continue to make zones which are based around no flying, and then flying will come afterwards. I think there's a huge missed opportunity in development there. We'll never again have a Storm Peaks, or potentially never again have zones like Storm Peaks with Ulduar or Ice Crown, for example. And all these big, huge, monolithic areas that are designed with flying in mind. There was always something really cool about Storm Peaks flying to the top of the tower,
yes,
and fighting that guy who sat on his throne and all that kind of stuff, and laying them together. So I'm a little sad of that. As we mentioned earlier, item bonus system is to be expanded. They think it worked out well. All I can keep going back to here is either they're lying, or me and most of the community here, and certainly the community I hang around with or attract in terms of PvE, are in the minority. Which is entirely possible, guys. You can always think that. You should always bear in mind that maybe our generalised opinion of our very niche little community here. I mean, we're a couple of 100,000 community compared to the 5.6 million, which is a low number. So it's entirely possible that's considered to be the minority. I hope not, but it's entirely possible. So they're going to expand on that and bring in new stats. Hopefully, we can praise Jesus. Sturdiness might make a return.
We can only hope.
We can only hope that one day Sturdiness will make its comeback. What other stats would we like to see?
Armor penetration.
Yeah, let's bring back armor penetration. Let's just slap that on there and see what's going to happen there. Let's have just interesting, cool things like mount speed on gear, extra slots, literally extra item slots. If you're lucky, you'll get a pair of pants that is pants times 2. So you can wear pants on top of your pants. So maybe you get leggings.
Multi-layered, mate.
Multi-layer, so you get layers of things. So shoulders on top of shoulders. If you're lucky, you might get to wear 2 pieces of gear. And spell penetration, readiness should be back, absolutely. A return of hit and, of course, expertise. They should all just make a comeback. And then we should have just various different things going on there. So, yeah, I think that definitely attractiveness should be on there. Die slots so you can change individual colours of specific gear. But that should be RNG.
If they ever brought in die into World of Warcraft, that'd be the fucking icing on the cake, but I don't think they can do it.
Oh no, they're going to bring it back, but it's going to be RNG. So what you're going to be hoping for is that you get an item that's probably not Warforged, no gem socket, but it does have a die slot on it.
Okay.
And so then you can make that the right colour. Now, all you got to do then is hope and pray to RNGesus that you get every other slot with a die slot. But that's completely
Imagine this, mate. Yeah? Imagine if they brought die slots in game. Now, I'm going to go straight to Judgment.
Okay.
Right? Keep the gold trim that goes around the red and the black and the orange. Now, replace the red and the black with white. Yeah? So it's just fucking white with gold trim all around it. And it's armour, it's not cloth. That's the dream.
Well, I would like to see the guy who gets the full Judgment set with all the die slots and dyes it blue.
Blue.
Dyes it blue.
Classic blue.
They're still not sure what's going to happen with the artifacts. The Demon Hunter is going to be a very agile class, so tanks will have lots of dodge and parry mechanics to their tanking style. Everything I read about the Demon Hunter gameplay is boring.
You're fucking boring.
It is. Sorry, it's so mundane, every single aspect of it. I've not seen anything super cool, so hopefully that's coming. It's not saying it's not going to happen. We've only got like 6 spells of potential 20 or so. And maybe the talents will be super fucking awesome or something like that. Fingers crossed. I hope so. For all the people who want to play Doom Hunter, I genuinely hope you're going to get that. But so far, we've not yet seen it.
They've got a backflip, right? Don't gloss over that every time you mention it.
Night Elves have had flips forever.
Oh, they've got a little pansy somersault when they do it, and Blood Elves spin round in a fucking circle.
As if you ever spent ages on
We
Night
do
Elf.
a disengage backflip. Yeah? It's not a proc backflip, it's a backflip. Like something beautiful, like out of a fucking John Woo film, with your arms out, with like pistols in each hand.
I think I called it a Doom Hunter. There's a new thing. Demon Hunter. I called it a Doom Hunter. The team has yet to decide whether there'll be any new talents. And I hope there isn't. The weapon is more than enough. The artifact system seems more than enough for me. You're getting a wealth of talents in there. I don't think we need to add another one. There seems to be a big idea here, which I hope they stick with, which is we don't need to just add stuff because we did in the past. So 2 specs is okay if we don't need 3. So we don't need level 110 talents because we give you an artifact weapon with a shitload of talents on it. And maybe they can just keep the level. Maybe their intention now is to keep the... I was going to say something stupid now. I won't say it.
What was it? Rubber baby, buggy bumpers?
I was going to say that it would have been a nice idea if they somehow kept the level cap at 100, but you could only progress your artifact in 100 plus areas. But that doesn't work, so it doesn't matter.
What a stupid idea.
Yeah, I know. Well, eventually the levels get so high, it's really off-putting for other players, right? The goal is to remove PvP gear. There will be PvP ways to obtain gear, but the power in PvP will be about the gear you obtain and the PvP talents that you unlock. Let me restate that. The goal is to remove PvP gear. The power in PvP will be about the gear you obtain and the PvP talents that you unlock. So it seems that any gear you get will just be altered towards PvP.
So there's not going to be 2 separate armor sets between PvP and PvE.
I'm wondering if you engage in PvP or enter a battleground that you literally just get a set stats for your spec. And that's it, no matter what you're wearing.
Okay.
And that's it. It literally just bumps you to the stats.
The battlefield.
Yeah, just completely. So 2 warriors, I could enter on like a massive high level character. You could enter on your warrior that's just dinged, and in PvP, we're exactly the same.
I don't like that.
Why?
Because those people that dedicate themselves to PvP are no better off now.
Yeah, they're getting all the cosmetic stuff. They will look cooler.
They'll look cooler, but they'll look cooler getting the shit beaten out of them by 2 people that have got the same gear level that don't know their elbow from their arsehole. But
well, the idea is in PvP is that if you're a better player, you should win.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this happen.
Well, yeah, but you should also get some perks in terms of, like, I've grinded this, like in raiding. Like, it should...
Well, that's exactly what they're stopping. Exactly what they're stopping.
What do you mean?
They are stopping that entire way of over-gearing somebody in PvP. They're cutting that completely.
I don't like that. Fuck that.
See, now you're the guy who... You lambasted these guys earlier when we talked about this.
What?
Because I said, well, the whole point of this is that the only people who complain about the new system is the people who want to crush other people.
Well, I do want to crush other people. If
this system is against you.
No, let me tell you. Well, it's the same as fucking raiding, surely.
No, because you're against people in this environment. So? That's the point.
You spend that time and that effort to get that fucking gear, regardless of it being cosmetic or statistics, but you've put that time in. You don't expect... Say, like, I mean, look at it like this, right? If you're someone who likes the battlegrounds, you're off to one corner of the fucking battleground, there's 2 random knobheads, yeah? You've put the time in battlegrounds, you know that you can run up to them and beat the shit out of them. Right. Because you've got the gear to do it and they're idiots and they're in shit gear. Now, if those 2 guys are still shit, but they've got the same kind of stats as you, you're not going to be able to pull off shit like that.
Well, the idea is that you should be able to outplay them. Not just win because you hit for their entire HP.
Well, that's what I like.
Well, that's what they're stopping.
I know. But what I'm saying is now that's it. You shouldn't be able to outplay them if your gear's the same. It's a drastic level of outplaying them. You know?
No, that's exactly what they're trying to stop. Yeah.
Fuck off.
That's exactly what they're trying to stop.
If you put the time in, you should get the fucking rewards.
You do. You get the cosmetic rewards. You look way cooler. That's the point.
I'm down for that, but no, I don't like it.
You don't like what? You want to be the guy who just crushes people because you've got bigger gear. Yeah, that's what they're trying to put a stop to. So it's skill based. Yeah, there's no challenge there.
I don't want it to be a challenge.
I don't want it to be a challenge. Well, there you go. Now we found the guy.
Bang!
Now we found the guy.
Well, no, I want to be challenged against someone my level.
How do you know they're not your level?
Because if I've just crushed them immediately, they're not my level.
Well, yeah, but what if they're the same skill level as you? You wouldn't find out just because they haven't farmed.
Then they can come back when they've got that gear.
Then they can come back. So they should leave. Or they should just be your fodder for the foreseeable.
Yes. Too late, bitch. I put the time in. You didn't. This is what happens.
Yeah. Shame on you for trying.
You reap what you sow.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Okay, so now we know. Crime or die more. Crime or die more.
Don't even get the reference.
Watched drama yesterday, mate. Guy who ran a world PvP guild, best in the world and best in the EU. And that was his signing off comment to everything. Cry more, die more.
What a cunt.
What? If anybody said anything to him, that was his comeback. Cry more, die more.
Oh, God.
Now,
you'd love to stab someone like that, wouldn't you?
What did I say was my worst fear about the next expansion?
Women with 3 tits that secrete cod liver oil from the nipples.
Karazhan.
Fucking knew it. It was one or the other.
Mentioned.
Yeah.
Karazhan has been mentioned. The word was uttered. It was spoken. Now, it came after the question about raiding. Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing. You're just making noises.
I'm like, leave it alone. Let's hope it's. As many people have said, there are different areas to Karazhan. There's below it, above it. No, we went to the top. Just leave it the fuck alone, please. Whatever your plan is for Karazhan, just put it outside it, next to it. Just leave it alone. That would be nice. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, you stop. You stop right now.
Yeah, you stop that. I know you think that it would be a good idea because people loved it. They won't love it if you do anything to it. They will hate it. Do you remember something though called Naxxramas? Did people love Naxxramas when you remade it? No. You took one of the most sacred memories of vanilla and you shit all over it. Big, runny diarrhea shit. Sprinkles.
Hey, only a small percentage got to see the original Karazhan. So you know what? Let's let everyone see it. Yeah. You too can witness the beauty of Naxxramas with only 10% of its original beauty.
So let's just wait and see. Karazhan is an important place, is the message. Maybe it's tied to an artifact. Maybe I've got to let it go. No, I don't. No, I don't. I really don't. No. Okay, so moving on. There's no stat squish plan. I can't speak anymore.
Wow.
I've had stream week. I'm told I streamed every day for the past 6 days, and that's too much for me. There's no stat squish planned. DPS is really high now, and they're like, it's not a worry. It's all right because it's going to be at least another expansion until we get back to the DPS numbers of WoD. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I have broken 1 million health on my warrior. So, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? You don't know where the numbers are right now, do you?
Not right.
With the very balanced trinkets that are currently in game. We're pretty high. We're pretty high, aren't we?
You know what I miss? Being on like my Holy Paladin in vanilla, and if I crit a heal for over 1,000, I would lose my fucking mind. See that shit? 1200 heal, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't particularly matter. Yeah, like Will says, it doesn't matter.
It's numbers that are easier to digest for me.
Yeah, numbers.
Because I'm a fucking simpleton. I don't deny that. I like smaller numbers.
The problem was in one, they just inflated so quickly to absurd levels, absolutely absurd levels of DPS increases. So we're now seeing regular DPSs at 100k ish. I mean, I think we started down. I mean, I was at like 50 something, I think, in Blackrock Foundry. I mean, that's like double already in Hellfire Citadel. Like doubled. It like doubled every single time. It went from like 25k to 50k, and now we're at like 100k. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see there. Garrisons is staying. Really surprised by that, honestly. I thought they would just have the end of the expansion destroy them or do something to them.
So what's the purpose of garrisons then?
They're going to stick around and just do what they are doing. Yeah, I mean, our mage in our guild currently kills his own prismatic crystal. Does so much damage on it. He killed his prismatic crystal, which is very funny. Garrisons are sticking around. You can go back and visit them if you want. I can only imagine they're going to massively hammer down any rewards that you get from them, so they're a waste of time. There's no way they're keeping people going to run garrison missions as a source of income, so we'll have to see that there. See what's going on. We still have this. We haven't seen the cinematic yet. You will spend less time in your order hall than you did in your garrison. Now, what kind of scale is that? So is that like 95% from 100%, or?
It is a very, because of the complete time spent in your garrison, that is a very varied scale.
Yeah, they believe you'll spend a lot of downtime in Dalaran. Yeah, okay.
Dalaran is going to be the neutral city again?
Yes, they're just going back to a neutral city, which is good. It's good to have that meeting place. A hustle and bustle in the new world.
So will the mage portal to Dalaran, which Dalaran's it going to go to?
I imagine they'll have two. Pretty much. They'll just have two, right? That's going to do there. That's the way they're going to do it. So we'll probably see that as well. They've already planned the next expansion. It seems like they're sticking, and I was hoping they'd change this and hope they make it a point, is that they're changing from this 1 year expansion lifespan. Because what I don't want to see now, we've seen, I mean, Legion looks fantastic. We know that, right? It looks fantastic. Everyone's really excited about it. That's very cool. But if we have the same problem that it had in WoD, which is we have to stop now because we're working on the next expansion. Pretty much as, I mean, to get a whole expansion out in 12 months, you have to start on it like now, really. If they go into WoD and some things aren't into Legion and some things aren't finished, are they going to be allowed the time to finish it? This is a big concern. You should all be thinking about this before you spend money. Is this, if they're sticking to this 12-month lifespan, how much stuff is not going to be in it? Or are we going to see this, which would even be even worse, is sort of like great expansion. Let's say Legion's great. Let's, for now, say Legion's going to be really good. But the next one's going to be terrible because they did so much work on the previous one. Yeah. And they didn't have time to invest into this one. So we might get something like a Legion, really good, then WoD again, where they had to miss a lot of shit out because they were working on anything else, and then back onto that. Because 12 months just isn't a long time for making a full expansion for a game like World of Warcraft, right? No. It's just not a long time. So I wanted to see them say, we're going to get rid of that and go away from that.
But even in terms of, and I know this doesn't concern you as much, I enjoy it though when I'm doing it. It doesn't give the storyline of the expansion time to fucking flourish either. And you could, like with WoD, a lot of it is going to be cut out, like content is going to be cut out.
Without an interference. Yeah. 2 studios alternating? I don't think that'd work. I think you got to have the same guys with the Blizzard games doing that. I mean, it's not just...
It's on the back. Oh, it's on your other side.
We'll get it eventually. We're going to finish. We're going to finish it in a second anyway.
Miyagi hands, y'all.
This is what I think is very interesting as well. Disciplined priests are going to be going back to having a 50-50 split of damage and healing.
Awesome.
They are going to take another pass on atonement, making it more interactive. They will still have heals and powered shield, but they will sustain their healing through DPS. They will be closer to the 50-50 than ever before. In the past, when atonement was popular, you could spam smite and holy fire all night long and use smart healing, which wasn't very interactive. This time, you may throw out some single target heals, giving players a buff support class. Next time you smite, people will have that buff, will get your healing. Interesting. And you will have to refresh the buff periodically. Also solves the absorb heavy nature of Dis Priests. So the idea seems to be that you will sort of mark players to be healed. So let's say, similar to now, which is that you pre-powered shield people before they soak something along those lines. Or you know that Ghost is about to take X debuff. So what you do is you then put your target reticule on him, essentially, and then DPS the target, and that will direct the atonement healing to him. So you still play the same as a Dis Priest, which is predictive, and looking at who's going to take the damage, so your absorbed works, which is the way you play now. And now you will be directing your atonement heals towards them, while being a 50-50 split and supporting your healers in that way, while also contributing damage. That is the way it's going to go. So, that sounds pretty cool.
I use my, you know, when, what was it now? The what expansion? I use my free level 90 on my priest because I enjoyed disc just before they changed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's
got it back that.
Sounds like a pain in the ass. I think it plays very similar, actually. I think it's going to be... I think it won't appeal to everybody and probably won't appeal to a lot of people who reroll Dis Priest just to press bubble, which a lot of people have done. You're probably guilty of it yourselves if you're in the chat right now. Some of you who rerolled to Dis 1 because every raid wanted them, so you guaranteed a raid spot. And the playstyle was reasonably simple until you got to top end where the Dis Priests actually became reasonably interactive, I'd say. They're in a pretty good place if done correctly. Holy Priests are just going to be the raw healer, is the comment they're having there. The team has learned some lessons from how fist-weaving monks work right now, and we'll talk about what they are doing to solve the problems with it in the future. And I have to say, I recently did the Mistweaver video. It was very cool to mix in fist-weaving. I thought that was actually really nice, so I'll be interested to see that. For now, though, Demon Hunters are the only ones who will get tattoos. You're so tied to a Demon Hunter before you know anything.
I don't.
It's so scary to be that locked in. So
mate,
early.
I'm so that's the thing. Look at like how I enjoy fucking transmog and stuff. 60% of shit that I play is involved with what I'm looking at. Then it's the gameplay that follows it. It's a fucked up, and it shouldn't be. It should be like how a game plays and how it looks. But for me, it's like I need to enjoy what I'm looking at for me to play with it. You know what I mean? But I love Demon Hunters and I love Illidan, and the fact that you're sort of like. You're being your own little version of Illidan. What's there not to love? That character could have auto attack and double jump, and I'd still fucking play it because it looks so good.
Okay, I would just be very wary of deciding to re-roll. Legendary Ring, stop it. Yeah, Legendary Ring.
Put it down.
Legendary Ring. Halt
sorry,
progress. Legendary Ring. You guys are...
Sorry. Do you know what that reminds me of? Have you ever seen that? I've only seen it in GIF form, but there's a guy who basically gets in trouble for like groping women. And he's at a party and there's a woman dancing right next to him in a tight skirt, and he goes to pinch her ass, and he's written on the back of his hand, "Don't do it." And he goes.
It reminds me of where Forrest Gump. It's like the whole chat's just going, "Stop!" Yeah. Signposts. Stop. The transmog overhaul. What do we know, if anything?
Your bank is about to become, and your void storage, empty. My bank and void storage is 99% transmog gear.
They're just going to make it a Diablo 3 system.
They're going to do it into like a fucking library. Yeah. Headpieces. Now that'd go nice with that. If I could see that in a rouge. Yeah.
See that in a rouge.
A nice cyan on that, yeah, like it. Awesome. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, so they're just going to make it super simple. Hopefully, I mean, I've filled my void storage and my bank with gear on my warrior, and I'm not trying to make anything. It makes me feel like what you guys go through. I don't know what you transmoggers go through in terms of, like, bank space, but it must be hell.
It's not nice.
It's got to be really awful. I mean, I've accidentally filled all of mine. Because I ran Nax 25 a couple of times to get the Dreadnought set, and that was it. My banks and stuff were full. And they're all Hexweave bags and shit. Yeah. So, yeah. I have no idea. And I do feel for you guys about what you're going through there. So, pretty cool. So, I mean, let's see where that goes. I'll just show it. On rumours that Sylvanas might be a raid boss. That's interesting, was the reply.
I think she's dead this expansion. I know that she's fucking undead, but I think she's tea cakes this expansion.
Where is she? What's she doing?
I don't know. There was something that I heard the other day about Sylvanas that immediately made me think, yeah, she's totally going to die.
Do you care?
I like Sylvanas. I want to see her used more, man. She's probably one of my favourite faction leaders.
Yeah, Thrall seems likely to be on the chopping block as well, given that we get his Doombringer. So, oh yeah, well, people are very attached to the old lady Sylvanas there. I'll unsub if you kill Sylvanas.
She's something to do with the Valkyries as well. So that whole thing about Valhalla.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Sylvanas has died several times. So yeah, one way to get away from Horde themed stuff.
Doombringer.
Every time. Every time. Cry more, die more. So good. Yeah, it seems Thrall might be in the chopping block. But his missus is pregnant, right?
They're not going to kill Thrall off.
No, what about Doombringer, though?
Yeah, but his son...
Are you just going to ask him for it?
His son can have Doombringer.
Maybe he passes it to you. Like the torch, mate. Their words were, you get the weapons from people who are either dead or lost
said
hope.
something. You said so. I was going to say you said something the other day where like Thrall's just basically like, I can't fucking do this anymore. But you know what I see it as, because with that many people at Thrall, I imagine Thrall like a merch booth with like covered in Thrall t-shirts that have got like a Doombringer on it and like a Doombringer hat. That when you pull the string underneath it, listen, when you pull the string underneath it, it's got a little arm on the peak with a Doombringer that goes like that. So it's like hitting you with a Doombringer when you're pulling the string, right? And it's just giving out like replica Doombringers. Do you get one? It's like the Oprah Winfrey, yeah?
I mean, we have a video. You are holding Doombringer in the intro.
I know I am.
There's Doombringer. I've got Frostball. That's true.
I actually got Doombringer.
You got the official Doombringer.
I just want you to know, see, I'm well in front of you in terms of expansions.
We were ahead of the game. We already had our artifact weapons years ago.
Well,
which is very cool.
Yeah.
The trolling is real.
Oprah Wind Fury.
You've never seen that before. There was loads of characters called Oprah Wind Fury.
Wow.
I love it. Much rage. Okay, so Sylvanas may be a raid boss, maybe not. Something going on with her, which should be very cool. Bullshit. They don't make decisions based on what their subscriber count is.
Bollocks. Bollocks. Bollocks.
I refer you to the background. You have been referred, Blizzard, to the background.
That is my most popular tweet, mate, by the way.
Well done, mate. I'm very proud of it.
Very proud of it.
I'm very proud that you managed to make it into the Twitter sphere.
I did make it into the Twitter sphere. Yeah, 500 favourites. That's a thumbs up or a star. Yeah?
Bing!
Yeah,
there you go, Sheriff.
Yeah?
There you go, you're in charge.
Right, let's not gloss over this point now. Bollocks. Yeah? They are watching their subs jump ship like it's the fucking Titanic. We need to do something here, boys. We need to do something. Fuck it, right? Fuck it, bring Illidan back.
The team's trying to believe Survivor's best play with friends, so please bring back some sort of reasonable group content. I just can't believe that either. There's a lot of...
It's back! You missed it. Bastard. He's got any keyboard on me. I think he's hiding.
Ah!
You get it?
I did.
Bollocks.
I did. My reflexes are too quick for it. Okay. Yeah, I don't believe that either. They say it's best played with friends, yet they made pretty much everything soloable, so hopefully they'll see a reversal on that. Some world epic, some summonable stuff to do for fun, something along those lines.
Something you do with your fucking mates, man. Oh, I've just smacked myself in the dick. That really hurt. Something you could do with your mates, you know, like it's still alive.
It lives.
It's like the Terminator of moths.
It's a banshee moth.
You know, just anything group related, man. Just not sat in
I'm not that fucking garrison nonsense where the shitty fucking events that were just terrible, which are really bad. And that's pretty much it that we know so far. So I think at a point we're going to finish up here for the next few minutes of things that weren't mentioned. We don't know what's going to happen with the current classes. I mentioned the talent system earlier. We know that survival and demonology get new huge overhauls. There's also a brand new talent system essentially coming into the game in the form of the weapons. They might not get new talents at all. I can see them really stripping back the talent system from what it is now. And obviously they're going to have to take out quite a lot. From the glimpse of the PvP talents, that's all coming out of the current talent trees. That's all going to be stripped out and replaced with something. I should expect pretty radical changes across the board for every class this expansion. And that could be very upsetting to some people. They've also already seen that hunters are changing pretty dramatically. And priests, especially the disses, of which there are shitloads of you.
There's a comment in there which I assume is a joke, but I'd love to see this. You carry on from Draenor, coming back, but as you leave, you get some sort of like order or objective. It's like there can be no trace of us have ever been here, and you literally, like a quick time event, throw a torch into your garrison.
That's what I want to do.
Can you imagine
if I could do that now with my naval yard, I would.
The fact is as well, obviously we've seen small cinematics with, in fact we might not have, I might be confusing games here. Is there any form of cinematic that's got your character in it?
Only the like in-game ones.
Yeah, that's what I mean though, an in-game one. Because you can do that. Yeah. Imagine like a cinematic just of your character like just fucking throwing a torch, walking away and your garrison burning, because that would be an awesome Blizzard recognition that they know of the burden of a garrison. But obviously it's not going to happen because we're going to get that garrison is going to remain. But just fucking throwing a torch and it's in flames as you're walking back through the portal or something.
Would you guys be pissed if once you hit level... There's some storyline at the end of Draenor before the new expansion comes. So the Legion launch storyline literally involves you closing the portal behind you.
Yeah.
Would you be fine with that? I would be fine with never returning to Draenor. Never going back.
No.
And probably some portal somewhere where you can go back, like they do with Hellfire Peninsula or whatever, where there's something else. But in story version, you can just close the portal and you walk through it and you're done. And that's it. Would you be fine with that?
Yes.
I would think that would be the best start to the new expansion, is you literally come back through time and dimension into the fucking present, and Chen Stormstout, whatever the fuck's like, where you been?
No, what would be funny is if it's like only if in our time it was only 5 minutes after you left.
Yeah, and it's like that fucking Garrosh. What a dick,
I know,
right?
what a knobhead.
You're like, are you fucking joking, dude? He's like, what?
You've been gone 5 minutes.
And then he's like, Vol'jin. Am I right, play? Still drunk after the Vol'jin.
Sat there with a hat on, Vol'jin's #1.
Yeah, Vol'jin.
Big glove.
Yeah, woo! Oh man, what a great party. You're like, dude, I've been gone for fucking a year. It's like, we were partying last night, bro. I mean, how much coke did you do, bro?
We were pretty shit-faced.
Yeah, we were pretty shit-faced, bro.
We were pretty shit-faced.
Smoking all that shit up.
Yeah, I went out for a year.
Vol'jin
smokes the stickiest of icky.
I would be more than happy to have my character close the portal on Draenor and just say, fuck it, bye. Leave Arel there, whatever. Together.
Yeah, she's doing fucking selfies with, what's he called now? Greenface.
Yeah, they're all pally pals. Let's just say goodbye to that. Other things that weren't mentioned, scenarios, gone forever.
Okay.
Seems so, gone forever. You guys okay with that? I'm interested, because scenarios can work in certain ways. But I think they've gone the idea that they're too much work. Even though they're easier than 5-mans, they're too much work for very little payoff. Although the payoff's quite good for the player. So I think that has to be weighed in. I think that has to be weighed in. How would you do legacy raids? I would put a portal somewhere that can kind of go back. Oh, mixed actions there.
What for?
Scenarios. A lot of yeses and a lot of no's. So 50-50 on the scenario idea, actually. But they've not mentioned them at all. That's like out of there. Completely gone. So they haven't even touched on it. We haven't yet seen anything, and I think this is going to be a big thing probably at BlizzCon. Professions.
What about them?
They wrecked professions in Warlords of Draenor. They acknowledged that in their speech at Gamescom, where they said, we're going to do something with professions. What the fuck does that mean? I wanted to see if we can get speculative profession-only guilds, where you can be in a sub-guild. So you're in your main guild, but you can also be in a sub-guild, which is based on your profession, and make that an entire thing, where you have to work with other people who are high-level enchanters. So you literally have like an enchanters guild, essentially. And then you have... I tell you what I'd love to see. And probably people are going to call me a dick for this, but this is what I'd love to see. And it might be rose-tinted, but I like it. Is the removal of scrolls. Get rid of them. You have to go and see people to get your enchants. And that's what makes profession guilds really interesting.
That's another aspect of conversing with people.
Another aspect of conversing with people. And I would like that those guys can actually work on something separate. I would like someday to log in profession and not... Yeah, I've got my guild for raiding, all my friends or whatever. But in my profession guild, we're also working to something completely different, which is we're working towards unlocking the best weapon enchant. But it actually takes many of us doing different things as a group of enchanters to, in some fashion, you know, design a tier tree or a talent tree even within the profession system. So we need someone who's fiery enchanting. You know, you've got this entire, like the artifact system we've got now, but for enchanting. And amongst that, the guild unlocks the ability to do that enchant. And then you're looking for, you know, the server's best enchanters, and you know they're trustworthy. And then you get guilds that have bad reps, and you don't go to them, who's in them guilds and all that kind of stuff. And, yeah, legendary ring. But I would love to see that. I would love to see trustworthy members of the community in a system like that, where you're doing that. Too bothersome.
That's a good point, though. Some guy said, are you going to be conversing with people, or are you going to be raked over the coals for gold?
Well, that's where competition brews, and that's where it becomes a great system. Right now, everything is centralised around the auction house, but I mean, it's still a guild. It's not as if any of us couldn't set this up, and you probably have in-house enchanting and all that kind of stuff. But I would like it so that within reason, you need people from other guilds. There's not enough people in a raid guild, a normal-sized raid guild, to form a profession guild.
You know what I'd like to see? An actual variation of the word guild. But imagine it like this. Imagine it, say like if we had one guild which was basically a more... I'm trying to think of good words to describe it. Like a less brutish, more classy sort of thing. So you've got, in this guild, there will be enchanters, there will be clothies, there will be stuff like that. But the things that you get access to, all those things that are in there.
Yeah.
And it's not so much you're building, you have to unlock them through reputation or anything like that. It's sort of like a faction, an actual faction of itself that is this guild that you're a member of. But you can only be a member of one of them.
Oh, absolutely. You can only be a member of one. Or we could call them something stupid like conclaves or whatever you want to do.
But look at it like you could have one of them that's like an armor smith, a weaponsmith.
That's what I'm saying. So you've got these talent branches.
And then you'll have one that's like a set of tinkerers, like that make gadgets and devices and stuff like that. But also like whatever you pick, because obviously we're gonna have some sort of like customization thing as well. Whatever you pick, say like if I pick this tinkerers guild, goblins, gnomes, tech, if you like. But then you could get a small piece of like armor or just superficial thing that like lets you know, not so much a tabard, because tabards have just been fucking done to death. But say like if you had like just one piece of armor, like a belt or something like that had like, you know, like a recognizable...
Yeah, or a sash if you're a tailor.
Yeah, even if it went over the side.
I know legendary ring, but I'm just saying the profession world is so open to that happening. And you would have an extra chat in game, so you'd have your guild chat generally. You'd also have your conclaves chat, or whatever you want to call it, or your unions chat. Stop groping that woman. I'm just saying they haven't mentioned anything yet, and I absolutely... Fuck off with Destiny Red. That game sucks. Everybody knows it. And, we all know it. Get with the times. Even the Dinklage is pulled out. Even the Dinklage. But I would love that. And it's obviously, as you say, with engineering, you have all that stuff.
But it'd be cool as fuck, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
you know,
all that existing game, Goblin and all that existed already.
But you also not just get you get a feel for like it's more self-character progression, you know. Like look at it for me. It's like if I want a demon hunter, okay, and I wanted him to be sort of like he's going to be a demon hunter, so he's going to have like the dark arts and shit like that. But he also relies on fucking. I keep saying the word tech. I just like the word tech.
It's alright, mate. You want to be Tony Stark. We understand where you're going with it.
But I'm a demon hunter, yeah. So back off.
Yeah.
But then, like, so I'd get all my things from this area, and then I just, like you say, like, you could have, like, some sort of, like, belt or something that's just literally got a trinket on it that, like, you know, like, he's part of that guild type thing. I fucking
cosmetic and an extra title, probably.
Because, as well, it's the feel of your character. It increases depth of your actual character. You're not just a surface-level rogue. Yeah, it is a rogue. But what does that mean, though? What is your character?
That's why I'm so happy. This is what I'm saying.
I want to see a deeper character progression, not just a fucking factory line rogue or a factory line warrior.
As we finish up here, I think the big note we're going to end on is it's early days. Everything can change. The things that I'm really excited about, and seemingly you as well, after what you just said, is the things that are looking gimmicky right now. The artifact system's great, but these are all the base systems. The new zone, we expect that. New race, class, whatever, we kind of expect that as well. These are all the kind of standard stuff. The things that could go really well and make it the game again, make it the game, are certainly the kind of ideas we spoke about in the last 5 minutes. And these are the things that have yet to be mentioned. So as it stands right now, that's pretty much every piece of information that is out right now. No drama tonight. It was an emergency web show, and Andy's going back off because our ladies are going to be pissed for us doing extra web shows. That's where we're now. But we can't let our imaginations, and I implore you.
I can't help it, though.
I know.
You can't help it, can you?
I implore every single one of you, one, not to commit to anything right now.
Don't hype it in here.
Yeah, don't hype it in here. We can all sit around now and have a bit of a giggle and do all that stuff. But ultimately, we've had one announcement on one day. We haven't even had BlizzCon yet. We don't know what's going to happen. So please don't get too overhyped about stuff. And don't take anything that's been said so far with any grain of certainty. We've already seen, we saw slides at a BlizzCon about the Path of Titans. We saw Dance Studios. We've seen all that stuff in the past, and it hasn't come true. Give it time before you spread the word. I made the mistake in WoD as well of spreading around, this is fantastic. And to be fair, the game I played was. Just poppy breaks. Yeah, just remember the legendary ring. Let's wait and see what is going to be happening. You don't need to pre-order a damn thing. It's digital. You can wait. So let's wait and see. BlizzCon is very, very soon. I got all teary-eyed about BlizzCon because I was looking at all the pictures today of us at BlizzCon. Yeah, it was just very cool. So I think we'll finish there. This is where we are. Keep it in your pants. Thank you for so many of you turning out. They haven't removed a zone. They just didn't label it on the picture. But still, thanks for falling for that MMO champion thread. Unless you're being sarcastic, in which case you own me as well.
Nah.
So very cool. Very cool. All right, guys. That is us done. We would take questions, but we talked about everything that we know. And from now, it'd just be more speculation and shit. And we don't want to do that. The Witcher 3 is fantastic. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you on Friday for Drama Friday. Ghosty will see you at some point, maybe. Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday. No stream tonight, guys. I'm up with the daughter in the morning.
Yeah,
so
we're both up with the kids, so we're old, whatever. All right, guys. See you later. Let's hope that what we've seen and what we know comes true, and let's hope it gets even better. Let's hope for that. Bye, everybody.